Hi kids, how you doing? So today I'm going to have a look at making some ambient pads. Hang on, close the window. That's better. Get rid of a bit of the car noise. Right, I am looking at making some ambient pads using Audacity only. There are only two tools I use on a PC when making music. One's the fantastic Caustic mastering suite and the other is Audacity. And today I'm going to show you how I go about making pads, and it might surprise you some of the techniques I use, but stay tuned and you too can see how I create some of the marvellous sounds I use. Of course, most of the time I will sample something and then take it into Audacity and treat it to create a pad. However, I had an idea that you could do the whole thing within Audacity in the same way as I created drum kicks completely within Audacity, as I did in the video that I will put a link to somewhere. Anyway, let's get on with this and see where it takes us. Thanks to my new interest in music theory, I have worked out the frequencies that these tones need to be. I need them to be a root note of the scale, and I'm going to have C as the root, and then I need another note. Because I want the pads to be as widely used as possible, I don't want to tie it into being either a minor pad or a major pad, so it needs to be kind of loose and open. The difference between something being a major chord and something being a minor chord is the third note. So in a chord, generally the most basic chords have three notes. You have the root note, the third and the fifth note, and if you have the major third, then that is a major chord. If you flatten the third and make it half a semitone lower, then that creates a minor chord. But I don't want to tie myself into either major or minor, so I'm going to leave that out altogether, and I'm going to use just the root note and the fifth note, which incidentally is also the same notes that are used in power chords. The root notes are going to be C, and I'm also going to use A to kind of create a bit more of an interesting fattened up sound. So C and A. So C, that is going to be 130.81. That's the frequency that I'm looking for. Amplitude 1 second of. Okay. Now let's have a listen. Let me put my headphones on. Okay, so that's the root note, and I need to create a new track, and on that track I am going to generate a new tone, and I'm going to have a square, and I want this to be the A, and the A is 220. So those two together, and you can hear that's a chord already. We can do something with that. And then I want to create a bit more interest, so I'm going to have a go at adding another layer. And this one is going to be an octave higher. So to create an octave higher, you double the frequency. So this is C, an octave higher. The frequency is going to be 261.63. And I am going to try a sine for this one. All together. It's quite interesting. I might balance these up a little bit. So. I'm quite liking that. It's a little bit more muted, not quite so distorted. So last one, I think I will just tidy that up. Add new mono track, and I am going to put in an A. 440, and I'm going to try square, no A-list, and there we go. So this is all of them together. I've selected all the tracks. Now I need to mix and render. So tracks, mix and render to new, mix and render. So the whole lot all down into one. I'm going to make that slightly quieter. You'll see why in a moment. So effect. Now I'm going to go into my clip fix, which generally brings all the levels down, and then I'm going to limit that. Limiter, hold limit. A weird pulsing thing going on there, but never mind. This is where it starts to get interesting and we start to create the pad. So I am going to add a new track, and now I'm going to generate silence. So, and I want to generate, this is going to be a pad, so it's going to be quite a long evolving sound. I'm going to make it 3 seconds. Mix those and render them. And this is where we start to create the pad effect. So I go into effect and I go into reverb, and this will do. And then I go into reverb again. But that's not enough. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to add a new track, generate silence. So I'm going to generate about 11 seconds of silence. I'm going to select this track here. Okay, so before we do anything else, before I mix and render everything down, I'm going to select the track with my sound and I am going to reverse it. And then select all, mix and render, and then back. I think this time I will start with a delay, or echo as we've got in here. That will do me. And then I might put another delay, layer of delay on, another echo on there. And bring the volume down because it's starting to peak, so we want to bring the volume down on that. So back into effect and clip fix, makes it quieter. And go back to my reverb. I've got everything set up fairly high on this reverb because what I want is a really long tail, because that's what helps to create the pad kind of wash sound. Do it again. Clip fix because it's a bit bulky. There we go. It's got a nice sound. There's a little bit of movement in there. And that hint of buzz in there. But that's all generated purely within Audacity itself. And because you know that it's tuned with the first and the fifth, a kind of a power chord pad, you can use that in almost any situation. It can be used in a track which is set in a minor key or a major key. It won't make any difference. It hasn't locked you into any particular flavour of music. Hope that gave you something useful that you can play around with, and I strongly encourage you to mess around with creating pads in this kind of way. The process is very, very simple. You take a snippet or create a sound and you put layers of reverb and delay on there to create a long tail. It sounds much more organic and much more natural than if you force an envelope onto the thing. That's it. Hope you found something useful from this. If you made it to the end and you're not a subscriber, then you really need to subscribe for more half-arsed tutorials. And remember, as they say at the Sirius Cybernetics Corporation, share and enjoy. See you later, kids. Bye.